Wizards of the Coast really wants a critical role that they can control.
Oh God, yeah.
They,
Oh yeah.
they were trying to do this back whenever they did the Wizards Presents, whenever they were saying that they were going to do the Spelljammer actual play, that had like Pro ZD, oh god, Ginny D was on there.
Yeah.
There were like a bunch of like really big personalities in the YouTube sphere that were going to be on this thing, and what happened? Like, I mean, I've heard kind of mixed like perspectives on like why that did not work, but so like they clearly want a critical role like thing that they control in house. But the thing is, like, I think even Critical Role can't really maintain its consistent viewership every week. Like we see this all the time. Like it'll spike and they do crazy numbers the first like 20 episodes of their campaigns, and then it just like immediately goes to like a tenth of what those which is like not to say anything necessarily about the quality of Critical Role. It's just that's what the numbers say, and I just think that maybe that's lightning in a bottle, and they managed to tap into something that I don't know you can really easily replicate, no matter how much money you're going to throw at the thing.
The problem is, well, I don't think they are throwing money at it. I don't think WotC is throwing the right money. And quite frankly, it takes a huge amount of work. It takes a huge amount of effort. It takes a huge amount of public trust and community building, as well as money, as well as having a good show. I mean, it is lightning in a bottle because it's a combination of you need to have an interesting show with interesting people who are willing to build a community, talk to people on a regular basis. And these are not things WotC does on a regular basis. They're getting they're getting
true.
better at it, but not to the point you need to be if you want to be another Critical Role. Like, they want a Critical Role, but they want to control it. And I think the two are mutually exclusive. I think you can't have a Critical Role with a Fortune 500 WotC company controlling it. I think it would fail. So you can't do what they're trying to do because it's against their nature. I just think it is, unfortunately. I think they can come out with shows, and I think some people will watch them, and they might even get okay ratings, but everyone's trying to do everyone, and I mean everyone's trying to do the next Critical Role. Good luck. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it was lightning in a bottle, right place, right time. For whatever reason, they were the only one. I remember when people were talking about it, and I'm like, "What's this Critical Role?" And I checked it out, and everyone was checking it out. It was organically grown. You had very likable people, very likable actors. There's a lot to like on that show. There's not a lot to dislike. It's hard to dislike pretty much anything about that show.
Right.
And that's really hard to do if you're a corporate sponsored television show, even if you have Ginny D, even if you have the best of the best. It's just people always can smell the stink of corporation on it, and it'll put something off. It's just the nature.
It's also just such a crazy swing on like viewership, because as I'm looking at it right now, like I mean, Twitch's D&D section, there's 1.2K viewers watching D&D right now. And by the way, like, I mean, Dyson Logos is over there streaming a map that he's drawing, right? Like the cartographer for the D&D books is streaming that to 13 viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, so like 1.2K, if I go and look, like, of course, I'm not going to look at just chatting, but like, I mean, it's weird to say like, okay, well, yeah, Minecraft is 100,000, of course, Grand Theft Auto 200,000 viewers, of course, but I'm even trying to think of something comparable, like let's say chess, right? Like if we're just going to look at the chess category, yeah, chess has currently got 5 times what D&D has. So like I still think that it's a niche that streaming maybe we haven't completely figured out how to make it to where you're going to draw in a consistent audience like that. And I think Critical Role, we just sort of have to chalk it up to like they got something unique with that. I don't think we should be shooting for that every time, you know.
Yeah. Tiger Eyes actually has a super chat who says Critical Role is extremely unique. It was naturally created group of friends who are also voice actors who love to play together. That combo makes it nearly impossible to create. In fact, I was a big supporter of Felicia Day when she started Geek and Sundry, and I used to watch The Guild and all of her shows, and I remember when they were starting up Critical Role, and I actually, for whatever reason, I was watching this on YouTube like just this week, is that they have the meetings like in like Matt Mercer's house where they're just talking about what they're going to do, and Felicia Day is there because she was part of it originally, and it was her because it was her channel, and she just got Matt and her friends together, and they're just like, let's just play. And the thing that always bothers me is like they were playing Pathfinder. Can you imagine? I want to go to that alternate universe. It's like, oh man, if they stuck with Pathfinder, who knows what would have happened? It could have.
They might not have caught the lightning in the bottle.
That's the thing.
Though.
It could have.
They probably wouldn't have.
It could have burned.
They might have.
Right. It might have. It might have totally failed, and no one knows, and it just would have been another one of those things. Maybe it became a big thing and they took over for D&D. I mean, who knows? Because D&D was in a really weird spot when they started this. They were never even mentioned in any of the earnings reports. You know, WotC wasn't even mentioned. D&D never mentioned. You know, Hasbro was completely ignoring them. So who knows what would have happened? So
I still think that there would have been some success with like, I mean, D&D would have eventually found its place, whatever. But if they had stuck with Pathfinder, I do think it would be an interesting, like, I mean, because Adventure Zone had grafted, they went into 5e as well. Right. And like Adventure Zone was very successful. Mm-hmm. But I think even Harmon Quest stuck with like
their Pathfinder.
Yeah. Was Harmon Quest Pathfinder?
Yeah, Pathfinder first edition. Yeah. Eric Miller was at the tapings.
Oh, that's super funny. I did not know that.
Pathfinder the whole time. It didn't ever change.
Yeah. Spencer Crediton was at PaizoCon, and I sat next to him at the banquet. He was the guest of honor.
Well, today I learned. Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they talk about it like, I mean, I guess they are doing the, you know, D&D is apparently synonymous with TTRPG or whatever, but wait, now that
if you watch Harmon Quest, the the Pathfinder books are right on the table.
What? Hold up. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You just warped my reality.
Yeah, they are. They don't like say Pathfinder very blatantly a lot of times, but they clearly are using Pathfinder, and like Steven said, Eric Mona was brought out to go there.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh. Yes, you know. There they are.
Yep. Yeah, it was Pathfinder. At the time, we didn't know what was going to happen. And I remember being very disappointed because they had the voice actress for Korra from Legend of Korra, and they didn't have her play a kineticist, which was the class that has the different elements that, you know, can bend different elements. I was like, that's such a missed opportunity, though.
Wow, my brain is just right now. Well, that's super interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, now you know.
Stranger Things should switch to Pathfinder.
I know, Stranger Things.
No, that would have been anachronistic.
I know.
Well, that's so good.
They go to the Upside Down and they're like, "Hey, what's this game? Let's try this game." It's like Pathfinder.
That's so funny.
Like
the whole show's just been leading up to a bait and switch for them playing Pathfinder instead. That's so funny.
Oh boy.
That would be funny. Like by the end, they're adults. They're like, "Oh, we've had too much problem with this D&D. Let's switch to another game. What's this Pathfinder?"
That is so funny.